Okay, today's video, we're going to talk about cold emailing and whether or not that works or not. Cold emailing can definitely work, but you got to be in the right type of market for it to work, and you got to be thinking about the right things to actually get it to work. Given emailing somebody saying, hey, you want to buy my shit? That's normally not going to cut it. Why? Because in an email, you don't have much trust. So asking somebody to buy in an email throws off red flags in terms of who you're sending it to right away. And if it's something that requires a lot of trust, you're not going to basically get through to that person. There's two main things that you have to do in order to get cold email campaigns to work. And I'm going to tell you how we do it for our own ad agency. Yes, I run an ad agency, and I also tell clients the same thing if they want to expand what they're doing with online ads, because they can get online ads to work, they can get email to work. And also for a translation company where to give you an example of this, is just one example of where this has worked with clients I've told this same information to, how they were able to get it to work, what their numbers were, translation company, and with that, you'll have everything you basically need in order to do the same kind of thing for yourself. Again, if you're in the right market and you're thinking about this correctly. That said, to get directly into the content here, for the most part, cold emailing is for B2B companies selling to businesses. Because unless you can literally send millions of emails for free, specifically, as the lifetime value of a customer is not there. If you're selling a $50 penis pill, and you know nobody's going to buy it again because it's a scam. You make $50 off a customer. Given that the rate in which people are going to buy from an email is so low, you literally would have to send millions of emails. There's people that make bank that know how to send millions of emails, but that's what it takes. You're not going to be sending a few emails off and getting customers because it just takes so many. You might have to send 100,000 emails to get one sale. Well, obviously, if you're not an email master, which you're probably not if you're watching this video, then you're not going to make money with it. That said, B2B, it does work because the ticket size and the lifetime value of a customer, of the money you earn from one customer/client, is so much higher that the response rate that you get with email, the math works out. Not only that, but you could tailor that message to that buyer enough where it takes way less emails to get a response and therefore a purchase in that particular case. Because if you're selling that penis pill, like I was talking about earlier, what are you going to say? Hey, Jake, this is a perfect product for you. I know because you shop on Amazon. It doesn't hit like, hey, Jake, I'm reaching out to you because I've already worked with 3 other paddleboarding manufacturers, paddleboarding oar manufacturers, and they've already gotten great results. So therefore, I wanted to reach out to you. And guess what? By the way, we believe so much in our products that we'd like to give you a sample of this product to try it out for yourself, because you can save an additional 10 to 20% on the cost of you buying these on an ongoing basis like our competitors did. So what's your address? Let me send it to you. That's the type of pitch you can do with B2B, which makes it so relevant to the user that you'll get a high response rate. So instead of taking 100,000 emails, it'll take 200 emails or 1,000 emails to get a sale. So it takes 100 times less emails, in other words. So you don't have to be an email marketing master. You just got to understand how to write the email and get the email targeted to the right people that are going to respond to the emails that you're sending. So to figure out what to say in your email in order to get the results on the campaigns like we do it at our firm, as well as the translation company and other companies that I've told to do this, is you got to be able to answer 2 things for that user when they open up your email and you successfully get it into their inbox. Which, by the way, to get it in the inbox, you write plain text emails. You don't send pictures and stuff like that because you'll end up in the promotions tab on Gmail, and 70% of email users are using Gmail anymore, as a side tip. But you got to be able to have for that user and answer these 2 questions. Why me? Why are you sending this email to me versus everybody else that you could send it to in the world? Because it makes me feel special, and I'll pay attention to this email if they understand why you send it to them directly. It's just like, as an equivalent, you get mail, snail mail in your mailbox. What do? You sort through it over the trash can. Anything that looks like it was sent to you specifically, you read it. For stuff that looks like it was clearly sent out to 10,000 people, you throw it right in the trash can. These emails are going to operate off the same principle. If you're going to get it to work, they have to think that you send it to just them specifically. So why me? And also, why right now? Why should I respond to this email or do what you want me to do in this email right now? Otherwise, they're going to think it's interesting. They might think it's a fucking amazing idea, but they'll always be inclined to say, oh, I'll do it later, and later never comes. So what can you do to get them to act now? And just saying 10% off for this month isn't enough in most cases, at least when you're talking about cold emails that they never asked what you had, or were looking for what you had in the first place, to get them to act right when they open that email. Because you think about it, they get, for a business in particular, they're getting 50 emails a day. They're looking to how to delete these emails as quickly as possible. You need to come, as I mentioned here, heavy, or don't come at all. Because people, you're going to have to make a damn good approach to get them to stop what they were doing, deleting those emails, and do it and start doing what you want them to do. So why me and why now? Those are the two questions you got to answer for your users to expect to even be in position to make money with a cold email campaign. What I recommend to my clients, and then what I do at our own firm, I eat our own dog food here, as it's called. I recommend a free trial, which everybody half craps their pants when I tell them to offer a free trial at their companies, because they don't want to give away anything in their company for free. They want people to pay. You're sending a cold email to somebody who's never heard or seen of you before, and it's in a format that people don't trust what they see in an email. It's like the lowest trust spot that you can advertise out of anything. Why? Because it's free. And so stuff that the consumer knows is the most expensive to advertise on, they're going to put the most trust in those areas and advertising in those spots. So you shouldn't always be thinking, well, I want to go to the cheapest place to advertise to that same person. Even though it's the same person, they're going to put way more stock in a letter that was sent to them in the mail that cost 70 cents to communicate with them versus an email which was free. I know, because we do that same exact thing in our firm. To the people that we email, I also send them a letter in the mail. The letter in the mail gets a much higher sales rate per letter than the emails because of that exact fact. So though, if you go to them even in an email where they don't trust you, when you offer them a free trial, it flips the script. It makes them go from guards up, this is an email, I see pitches in an email all the time, I don't trust these companies, to, this company is actually different. I actually, at my firm, get people telling me on a regular basis, I don't normally respond to emails, but your email I did respond to. Why? Because I'm actually giving the user a reasonable offer versus everybody else's, hey, buy my shit. You want to buy my shit? No? Okay, F off. And then that's all they're doing. Which you yourself, if that's you, by the way, you don't want to buy from companies that send you an email like that. So why is it that you're doing it to other people? Treat the people you want to sell to like you would like to be treated. If you're at least going to bother me by sending me a spam email, which we could call it spam, then at least come to me with how you're going to be able to take some risk or some cost on your end for me being willing to deal with you, at least up front. Then I'll have respect for you. Therefore, I'm willing to at least give you a shot at my business. So free trial seems genuine enough to respond to your email. And then potentially you tie the free trial, like if you have a software that you want them to use every month, let's say, you tie it with a paid trial immediately following. At our firm, a guaranteed PPC, yes, we don't charge our clients until we get results on their ad campaigns up front. We're the only firm out there that does it because other firms don't want to do that again, it goes back to, I'm not giving nothing to anybody for free. They should just buy my shit and like it. Of course, this comes with some strings attached in that we'll give you the first bit of sales results out of your current ad budget for free, as long as you're willing to work with us at least a year after we get you some results. In other words, I'll get you the first, let's say, 25-50% increase in sales from your current ad budget. When you do that, I want at least, $4,000 a month for the next 12 months after that. So you're going to pay me $50,000 after I've increased your sales 50%. But the idea being that the 50% increase in sales will get you enough additional profit where the $4,000 I'm asking for per month, you've already are making more than $4,000 a month. That's how my offer works. So basically, we give them some free services. Nobody else is saying that, which is what makes our email get responded to versus the other 10,000 PPC/ad management agencies not get responded to. And then we just have mathematically figured out, okay, how many are we not going to get results on? How many are the people going to stiff us and not pay or go out of business or whatever? We work that out mathematically. And then we understand what we can offer for a free trial up front. And then we also understand that if we do the free work, because we've tried this, and then we ask them to pay afterwards, too many people don't pay. They take the free results and they run. They weren't a real client to begin with that would actually want to work with an ad agency. So we have it in our agreement that if we get you 50% up front, you're automatically going to be paying us for the next 12 months after that. So we're happy to work for free up front for you, as long as you're prepared to tell us up front and literally lock it in to where this credit card you give us is getting billed the month after we get you these 50% increase in results on your campaign. To where we don't even have to ask. Your card just starts getting dinged as soon as we get you past that minimum threshold. That's how we set up our guarantee. And this now works. Even with 15 ad agencies contacting them a week, our email gets responded to, not anybody else's. So sorry if I destroyed your dreams of doing cold email, that you were just going to email somebody, hey, you want to hire my ad agency? No? Okay, well, I'll try the next guy. That shit is a waste of time for the most part, unless you got something damn interesting to offer somebody. But even if you have something really innovative, we've tried to do email like that, marketing like that in the past, and it still doesn't work because of the channel itself. It's so low trust. So whereas something is free, the value is equivalent, unless you can come heavy with a really, really heavy message, and then it starts working. So you can do a free trial with the understanding that the person, once they try what you have, they'll want to keep using it anyway. And if you don't have something, by the way, once they try it, they want to use it, sell something else. Or just don't do cold email marketing, because you're not going to make any money anyway. And should just market something else. Or if you know that people will try it and then not be inclined to pay you for it later, you get them into a locking system where if they try it and they like it and you deliver, that they automatically agree to pay you after for more of it. You could go either of those options, but if you email the right people in your market that really, really need your solution and what it does for the customer, and you offer them a free trial, you will get results with your campaign, particularly if you also tell them that you've done it for their competitors in the past. This is a turnkey way to get email marketing, cold email marketing campaigns to work. You say, like I was quoting earlier, hey, plumbing company owner, and you have to address them by name, otherwise it looks like spam still. Jeff, I'm contacting you because I've just got done getting results for another plumbing company, of which is the 4th plumbing company I've worked with in the last 3 months, to get them an additional 10 clients a month in their business, and are getting great results, of which are XYZ plumbing company, XYZ plumbing company, XYZ plumbing company, because it's one thing to say that, it's another to say exactly who it is. It's more believable by far. If I'd like to offer those same results for you, and I know you might be skeptical, so why don't you just try the service out for yourself for a few months? See for yourself that you can get those same results. All I ask is that you might want to be able to do business with us afterwards. You don't have to give all the details in the initial email. In fact, you shouldn't, because you only have so much time and the user's maximum time before you lose the user's attention. You just get those key facts up front. If you would like to try it for a few months, I'd like to give it to you for a few months and say nothing else. Once they respond, that's the time you can get them the rest of the details. In fact, not providing 100% of the details makes them more likely to respond because they want to know what it is. And then you kind of got them. So half of it is having a good product and being able to have something that when they try it, they want it. The other half of it is you got to get in front of the right person who it's right for. And if you want to add something else to this, you have to have the right email and you got to know who you're speaking to. But what we'll do, a lot of people are tempted to buy email lists. Those pretty much suck for the most part. It's much better if you can do it to go build yourself a team, an offshore team that can go and get you the email addresses of the exact businesses that you want to sell to. So if you want to sell to plumbing companies because you've done business with plumbing companies before, like in using the previous example I gave you, you have them build a list of all the email addresses of all the, you got to know the company and then the person at the company you need to sell to. You can't send it to random, people at XYZ. You need to know, if you got to sell to plumbing company owners, you need to have the CEO's name and personal email address, which is usually first name at company name. Then when you contact him, then you can say Jeff instead of to who it may concern or what have you. That's actually going to give it a chance to work. And then furthermore, your team can test emailing that email address when they find it to make sure it's a working email address so that your campaign has a chance to work, which for the most part, you can reach out to those companies and just say, I'd like to buy, to see if that email works and see if you get a reply back. Then you know you got an actual email that works, which is kind of shitty to do, but hey, what it is. You got to figure out the email works somehow, and those email testers don't really do it. You have to really get a reply back to know you got a really real working email. And to find their emails, by the way, again, it's not easy. People don't want to do it, which is why they buy the list. If you want it to work, you go ahead and you try all the permutations of how people usually have their email addresses. Go to email permutation generator on Google, find it, and then because once you find the owner or whoever at the company you need to contact, you put their first and last name in this tool, and then it'll try all the combinations. First dot last name at example.com. First name at example.com. First name dot last initial at example.com. And then with all those emails, your team tests every single one until they find the one that actually gets a response. That's how you find a real email. And all the work, by the way, that you do to get the email like that makes the email actually valuable because if all the spammers in the world have this person's email address, then people would just switch their email, or they'd get so much spam, your shit's not going to stand out anyway. So the fact that it took a little time to get it makes it valuable. So you do all that work to get the right email and know who you're talking to specifically. Then you use my script I gave you. And then on top of that, you got to make sure you're contacting the right people that actually need your product or service. Not would like to have, but it's like perfect for them. Then you quote that you've done it for other companies, if you can, and that you'd like to offer them a free trial. Getting them into the, to respond, then you can give them all the rest of the details of your free trial, which may have caveats in there for it to work, which is totally fine in my book to do that. In fact, with our free trial, part of the other caveats that we have is we want 10% of the future payment that we collect from the client up front and mainly we had to start doing that because people will take our services and then they'll just stop responding after a while because they get busy with other stuff. And then the time we put in the first couple months to get them the results gets not used. Whereas if that happens, we don't want to be in a position to at least lose money. And so, but we don't tell that to them up front in the initial email. They get told that after we've gotten a sales meeting already. So it does kind of make it a little bit of an illusion up front, if you will, because you don't give them those details. But then again, the initial email's job isn't to tell all the details. It's just to tell the basic premise of why you're contacting them. Then you can tell them all the details after it. And I would, in that case, and like what we do, I find out all the details about what they want, how they want it, and then I tell them at the end of the sales process that we need 10% up front to not so-called kill that deal, if you will. But, you know, when I am doing this, I don't just pick any companies to contact. I find all the clients that we have, which type of clients make us the most money. Okay, let's build a list of those people, because that's a much better way to go about doing this than just any random company, because we're going to make more money from companies in this category versus this category. And if you can get the lifetime value of a customer high enough, the fact that if you're going to make $50,000 off of a customer or client like we do, at our firm, our average lifetime value of a customer is 50 grand. So I can offer 5 grand worth of services up front, or $2,500 worth of services up front for free to get them as a client, because I'm going to make 50 grand over the next, 2 years. And it's all just a numbers game at that point in time. Do you have a product or service that's good enough that will keep the customer long enough that you could literally offer it for free at the beginning and still have it where you're not paying more than 10% of the total money you're receiving from the client in terms of the cost of the free services to get them in the first place? Which you couldn't necessarily do that so easily in paid ads, because you have the cost of the paid ads, then you have the cost of the free trial. It doesn't work. The benefit of using email is that there is no advertising cost. There's no media cost. It's free. So you can invest what you normally would have invested in the ads or whatever to get your message heard into the free trial. And then the free trial cost, like actually delivering that free trial, is your marketing cost to get your client, if that makes sense. So that's how I recommend you do B2B. Again, if you can't offer something that people will try it, they'll use it in the future, sell something else. I mean, if you don't believe in your product, why you're trying to ram it down people's throats anyway? But if you can get 5 to 6, like at least 10 grand in terms of lifetime value from a customer after you get it, even better, 100 grand. This model of a free trial for the initial whatever, the math should work out. I mean, you can pay a couple $1,000s to give them something free up front, knowing some people may not last, but over the long run, between all the customers you get, that offer that 2 grand worth of services up front, that's fine, because it pays for itself at the end of the day, like it does with us. To give you another example of this, we had a company in the translation space that does translations of legal documents and from one language to another, product manuals from one language to another, that kind of thing for businesses. So they have actual people that are that are bilingual, that help in a professional way that's 100% accurate translate documents from one language to another. We were running Google Ads, but they also did cold email upon my suggestion, and they did what I mentioned that you should do, which is to offer something for free up front. First of all, get the right people to offer it to, so that when they like what you have, they're going to be likely to buy a lot more from you over time versus maybe or not so much, and then offer something for free. So they actually reached out to all these product companies that need to have their instruction manuals in other languages, companies that don't just market 1 or 2 products, but continuously come out with new products, and reach out to them, make a list of them, and reach out to them specifically, offering your free translation. Respectively, you want somebody who already buys what you have, more than people who don't buy what you have. People make this mistake all the time. Like in our space, people think, oh, if I'm going to try to sell marketing services, why don't we market to the people that have shitty websites and no social media presence? Because we can offer it to them. No, you sell to the guy who already has it, because maybe they're pissed off at their current vendor. Because those people are already mentally prepared to spend money in your category. Convincing somebody to get a new website when they have a trash website and have had one for the last 10 years, trust me, it's not because nobody's ever approached him offering your damn website to him. The guy doesn't want one. And he's going to play hell trying to convince him otherwise. So who buys from you that, because everybody gets pissed off at their vendors at a certain point. All you got to do is hit them up at the right time and you're in. So go that general approach. But so anyway, they contacted all these product companies, say, hey, we're a specialist who specializes in translation, specifically translating product manuals for companies, which makes them unique at that point, and do it for all of these other product companies as well. As I mentioned, you should do that as a part of your script. And we're so confident you'll like our services that we'll let you try one of our translations for free. Just let us know what you would like us to translate, and we'll gladly do it for you on the spot here. And that's specifically what they did. They hand collected the email addresses like I told you to do earlier. They got a 2% roughly response rate on the emails that you got, which I mentioned your response rate is really going to be like 1 in 1,000 emails. You're going to get a reply or a phone call or whatnot, which is true. But when you don't just email each person one time, not at all. Most of the time your response is going to come on emails 2 through 5. So you just email them, what I'll do is I'll say, hey, did you get my last email? And that'll be the second email. Then the third email will be like, I'm still offering you that free trial or whatever. You get my general gist. So it looks like a real human following up with them, not a robot. And between the 5 follow-ups, it's a 2% response rate roughly between all the follow-ups, if you will. Sending 5 emails to each person, 2% of our list itself will get a reply. We'll get a reply from them out of between those 5 emails that we're sending them. And because it costs us about $1 per email, which I wrote this down a little bit incorrect here. It costs us about $1 an email with their team, collecting the email addresses, testing the emails, finding the ones that work, given the strategy I gave you earlier. A 2% response rate, you're talking about a $50 lead cost. And of the people getting the trial, 50% of those people ended up buying at least another translation from them. Some people went on to buy many of them, dozens more. Some of them only bought one more. But, so we're talking about $100 of actual cost building the emails and collecting those emails to be able to send the emails out in the first place per new client acquired. The translation itself was a few $100s to do a translation of the average person's manual that they needed to do. So, all in, we're only talking about several $100s for a new client in the translation space, which some of these clients are translating so much stuff that they're making 6 figures on those clients. Now, that's certainly not the average, but the average is high 4 figures itself. So the math here all works out. You see what I'm saying here? So there's a cost in getting that email list, and the emailing part is free. Then you have to look at the trial cost and what it costs to offer that. And then you just work, you see how things go. How many people that you give the trial to end up becoming a customer, and then you just work it back. Okay, here's the email cost, here's the trial cost, here's what our average lifetime value of a customer is, and then you see if the math works out or not. And if you find out it doesn't work, maybe you adjust your trial to offer a little bit of a less of a trial, and maybe you can get things to work just as good, but not offering them quite as much up front. Or maybe you adjust your pricing so that when the paid trial starts, instead of charging what you normally charge other people, you charge 30% more than other customers. That's another lever that you can pull. So you can adjust how your approach once you get going. You get some data about how many people reply, what those people end up buying. For the most part, customers you get this way, they'll end up spending just as much as any of your other customers that you get now, by the way. So you can expect whatever you get your average lifetime value of a customer spends with you over their lifetime, you can assume that that's what you're going to get through your email campaign here. So the question is, of that, how much of a free trial can we offer them in terms of what the value of that free trial is? If you are averaging $10,000 of lifetime value from a customer, okay, then obviously you could pay $1,000 in terms of that free trial to get that customer, if you will. Assuming that every customer then that gets the free trial becomes a paid customer. And then, you find out how many people you offer the free trial to become a customer. So respectively, if you had a $10,000 lifetime value and you could pay $1,000 getting them, well, and you knew 50% who get the trial ended up being a paid customer, you could technically then actually pay $500 to get somebody to take the free trial. You see what I'm doing there? So, like I showed you before, it's $50 in terms of actual cost to collect the emails in order to get somebody to accept the free trial, and then 50% of the free trials go to paid, so it's $100 in email collection cost to get the person that we have as a client, to get them as a client in terms of the email cost, and then we're talking about several $100s in terms of what it costs to offer them the free translation. Well, technically, every person who gets the free translation doesn't become a paid customer. It takes 2 free trials to get them as a paid customer. So we got 2 500s there. So now we're talking about 1,000 plus 100. It's $1,100 to get a paid customer, right? Well, $1,100 to get a paid customer when we're making close to $10,000 of lifetime value from a customer over all their lifetime of what they're going to spend with us. So if they're giving us $9,000 worth of lifetime value compared to our $1,100 of email cost plus free trial cost, that ROI is acceptable to us. So you just got to work that math for yourself. That's the kind of formula I recommend for doing, email marketing, unless you got something that's so obvious that will work, and then you don't have to offer a free trial. But again, it's going to be tough because people are going to trust you simply by you using email to communicate with them. So free trial breaks the ice, if you will. You just got to be seeing what everybody can offer a free trial. The question is, how much can you offer? The bigger your free trial, the more likely they are going to be to respond. So you want to offer as much as you can, but ultimately you can only offer so much. So you just got to figure out where's the sweet spot. What can we offer, which will still get a high response rate to our emails, but will not cost us so much that by the time some of the customers that get the free trial don't go to paid status, we can still make money. So with that said, this, like I said, works for a one-off service here. What you guys could also do, like if you ran a software company, you could offer to come in and not just give them a free trial of the software, which everybody does that, but people don't care about your free trial because it costs money to set up the software to integrate in their company. So what those guys should do is offer a free setup. We will give you the software for 3 months, and we'll have somebody come in and help you set it up and show you what we set up and how it's going to benefit you, and let you use it for 3 months. And then see how many people who use it for 3 months will not cancel. In that situation, I would just have it, I would tell them up front, we'll come in, set it up, show you what the benefits are, and you can cancel within the first 90 days anytime. But if you don't cancel, it's $100 a month after that. At least for the next 12 months after that, we would want you to stick around to recoup our investment to get you set up, similar to how we're doing it at our PPC agency. But you get the general gist of how this would work. You get their card up front. Then at least you're going to get $1,200 of paid value out of that person once if they don't cancel within that first 90 days. Now you can actually start to mathematically calculate, okay, well, we can invest at least $120 up front or $250 up front in terms of setting that up for them, if you will. Assuming that nobody cancels during that 90-day period, you get what I was trying to convey before with that. But you just start working the math out and the scenarios out as to what you can offer as far as that free trial. And if you make a lot off of a customer now, you can offer one damn good free trial for that customer to get them on board. With us being able to make $50,000 off of a customer lifetime, we can offer $2,500 in terms of free trial cost at our cost, not cost to the what we sell our services for. So that's several months of services we can give the client up front for free. So the math works out. Anyway, you get the general gist of what I'm talking about here. I know this isn't the popular, hey, just send this email and money comes pouring in. There's work to be done here to figure out how to get the system set up right. But once it does, it'll work and work and work after that. I've used email marketing the way that I shared with you on this particular video for the last 7 years, and it brings in clients predictably. And ultimately, if you're not spending it here, you're going to spend it in ad spend anyway. So pick your poison. And once you should really do both so you have redundancy in your business. But respectively, it's not, if you have no money, in other words, it's not just a tool where you're going to get by with no money. You're going to have some money to offer the trial or whatever to get whet their appetite. But it's just as profitable as other ads if you do it the way that I'm talking about here. This is the way that I know works. I'll wrap it up with that though. If you liked the video, I'd appreciate it if you would give it a like and consider subscribing, as I have other ways for you to make money using paid advertising at your company as well. If you're interested in that, I manage dozens of ad accounts on an ongoing basis, and like I mentioned on this video, I guarantee results for our clients before having to pay anything. If you're interested in that kind of service, where I could come in, set up the ads for you, you automatically get better results, and then start paying us after we've gotten those results for you. I'd love to hear from you. We don't work with just any company, of course, but if you got a great service, we would like to be able to work with you. But if you like the channel and the information that I gave you so far, we give you strategies on this channel to make money if you want to do it for yourself. And therefore, you should also subscribe if you aren't looking for a straight out ad agency. It's the same information and techniques I use to make money. You could apply them, employ them for your business just by watching the videos on this channel. It's coming directly from the source of somebody who just tests ad strategies all day long and knows what works versus what doesn't work. Versus the other YouTubers that are on here sharing information about how to make ads work, that sell courses and aren't managing ad campaign strategies all day long like I personally am on a full-time 40-hour-a-week basis, and have to guarantee people's results. If you like the channel and want a bit more, I also offer some written content on my blog at guaranteeppc.com/blog, where you can find other guaranteed to work ad strategies there for your business. I also have a column that has similar information on entrepreneur.com, where you can also see other information and work for myself on stuff that's working in today's environment. I mentioned that if you are looking for somebody to just get you more sales on autopilot, I'd love to hear from you at my firm. If you aren't looking for an ad manager but want some templates of what can work for your company, I gave you a template for email that would work for your business. I have templates that work in terms of online ads, ad campaigns that work for different industries. I've worked in 100+ different industries before, and we sell the templates that work for certain markets that we've been in for a one-time fee. So instead of doing all the hard work to figure out how to get ads to work in your market, if we've worked in your market, we can first of all tell you what results we've gotten in your market before, and then from there, if you want to buy our templates from us to copy and paste those same results into your ad accounts, we can tell you how much the cost is for the templates. The templates are going to cost less than what you're, in terms of the money you're going to spend to figure out what we figured out in the market for yourself. So, and you'll also obviously know the results that you're going to have up front without having that unknown, doing it, building a campaign from scratch in your market for yourself. If you're interested in that, you can also reach out to me at my firm. I'll tell you what markets we've worked in, what results we have already gotten in those markets. I'll wrap it up with that though. Hopefully you enjoyed my video, and I hope to see you in my next video where we have another great strategy for you then. See ya.